This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, Mackenzie. This is Phyllis. We are here again with our time to relax and unwind. If you joined us last week and you've made it back again, thank you so much for joining us. And if this is your first time, welcome. We hope that you enjoy our little series that we're having here. So, this week we will be discussing tools of the trade, or things that I'm calling tools of the trade. So we will start with wine glasses. There are champagne glasses and red wine glasses, white wine. There are all sorts of stemware, but we're just going to deal with these three basics and some other tools. We will be talking about corkscrews. There are various and numerous corkscrews. I have about two here, three, that I'll be showing. And then we'll also be talking about other tools, stoppers and pourers and foil cutters. These are all things that you would need to have in your treasure chest to help you enjoy that bottle of wine. So let's get started. So we're going to talk about wine glasses. So wine glasses must be clear so that nothing interferes with the transparent display of the wine's color. The glass should also not be hued or beveled or decorated in any way that would interfere with the wine's clarity, nor should it flare out like a champagne glass. So when we actually start the tastings, we'll be showing you why you want your glass to be clear. So we're going to now start with the glasses themselves. So this is our white wine glass. So white wine glass features what's called a U shape, and they're often more upright in design. They're slimmer, and the U-shaped bowl is used because white wines do not need to be aerated as much as red wines. I have an example of a white wine glass right here. And as you see, it has that U shape and it's on a stem. When we taste white wines, we'll talk more about the individual glass. So now we're going to talk about that red wine glass. So red wine glasses tend to be more globe shaped. They're also larger and taller than white wine glasses, and that's because red wines are often bolder and the round shape helps to trap aromas, air, and flavors in the glass. And I have an example of a red wine glass. And as you see, it has a larger opening and it has that globe round shape, and it too is on a stem. Now there are some stemless wine glasses, and I have an example for you here. So this is a stemless glass. This could be what's called an all-purpose glass. You could use red wine or white wine in here. The thing is, it doesn't have the stem. When we talk about the individual wines, we'll address why you want the glass to have a stem. But this one is really popular now. It's very, very casual to have a glass with no stem, and you can just hold it in your hand. And then lastly, we're going to talk about champagne glasses, my favorite. I think it's Felipe's favorite too, but he doesn't want to talk about it. The inward taper is designed to retain the champagne signature carbonation by reducing the surface area. So more bubbles in the glass creates texture for the taster's mouth, and the flute's deep bowl allows for greater visual effect of the bubbles rising. So this is a champagne glass right here. And as you see, it has very little space, but it's tall and tapered. You can see those lovely bubbles crawling up in the glass. And champagne is all about the bubbles. So you really want to be able to see the bubbles in your glass. So now we're going to talk about some other tools that you should have in that treasure chest, in that chest of yours for your wine. We'll be talking about corkscrews. I have several examples I'm going to show you. We have a foil cutter. I'll show you and talk about its purpose. We have stoppers, and we have a decanter that I'll also show you and explain what its purpose is. So this is a typical foil cutter. It is basically designed to cut the foil off of your bottle of wine. So here's our favorite bottle of wine, and this is the foil. So it serves a couple of purposes. You slip it on, and then you're just going to rotate it around and cut the foil. It has little blades on the inside, and to help you cut the foil. What it does is it allows you to have an easier pour. It also helps you to make for a better presentation when you present your bottle. You don't want to present all the ragged, jagged foil. Plus, it's also very dangerous. But with the foil cutter, it makes it all neat and pristine. Now the stoppers. So stoppers are basically just designed to do that. They're to stop the air from getting into the bottle. If you have a bottle of wine and you didn't finish it and you want to preserve it for another time, you would use a stopper. So stoppers come in various shapes and caricatures and things. So this little set I have here is nuts and bolts. And I thought it was very cute. They're also very weighted. And basically they have little rubber gaskets to help seal the bottle. You just drop it in and it seals your wine for you. You really should have one or two of those depending on how much wine you drink, because you may not drink the whole bottle and it would be best to have one on hand. And then of course the pourer. The pourer does a lot of things. It helps you to be more consistent with your pour. It helps for a better presentation. It also helps you to control how many pours you're going to get out of the bottle. So this is a 750 milliliter bottle. Felipe likes this size, but he only gets 2 glasses out of a bottle, which is not the recommended serving size. So we're going to give him a pourer to help him reduce that and actually get a couple more glasses out. Okay. And lastly, the decanter. Now, these are beautiful pieces of art that you can actually have. But what it does, as you see, it has so much surface, it's to allow air into that red wine that's been sitting in the bottle. This particular decanter also has a unique feature. It has a punt, just like the bottle of wine that we showed earlier. This has a punt as well. And it has 2 additional pieces. This is a filter to catch any of the sediment. Remember, the red wine is going to be a little older. It's going to sit a little while. It may have some sediment, so you'd want to filter that out. And then this little piece helps to aerate, and it has little holes to add air when you pour the wine through. So when we taste red wine next week, we'll actually use the decanter and you can see it in action. Now we're going to talk about temperatures again, because I want to make sure that we are familiar with the temperature. So white wine is 45 to 50 degrees. You can also store it in your refrigerator. Just remember that when you get ready to serve the wine, you want to take it out to bring it up to temperature about maybe 20 or 30 minutes before. And then red wine also, you can store it in your refrigerator at the cooler temperature, but again, you will need to bring this out and bring it up to temperature. Okay. So now, next week, I'm really excited. We're going to have our actual live tastings with the red wine, my favorite, one of my many favorites. And we're going to have 2 guests. We're going to have a male and a female, because women and men do taste wine differently. We have different palates. So we'll let someone else tell you what they think of the wine. And that way you'll have other people's opinions, not just mine. We want this to be sort of all inclusive. We also are going to have a list of the wines that we're going to be serving next week. So if you would like to make a purchase and join us, not in with us because we're all staying at home, but you can taste right along with us and see if you have some of the same tasting notes. So we're going to have a Chateau Saint Michelle Cabernet Sauvignon from Indian Wells. We will be having a Tesoro della Regina Chianti Classico. We're going to be tasting that. And then we will have a Samuel Robert Winery Pinot Noir Vintner's Reserve from Willamette Valley 2018. So from last week, we know that the 2018 refers to the year that the grapes were harvested. So we know that these grapes were harvested in 2018 in the Willamette Valley. The other two wines, without seeing the bottles, excuse me, I'm not sure what the vintage date may be on those. We'll see when we get them. Also, remember to have your wines with you. You can also have them right along with us as well. Should you have any questions or comments, please feel free to let us know through Active Building. So again, next week, we're going to have red wine. And then the following is going to be white wine, like a glass of sunshine. Week 5 is champagne versus sparkling wine. And then our last week will be food pairings. And we're going to use all the wines that we're sampling. We're going to use those along with food that you would have normally every day or every week in your home. So that should be a fantastic time. So we look so forward to having you join us again. If you have any questions or comments, please send it to Active Builder. Stop by Felipe's desk, let him know. If you see me, give me a heads up as well. We would love to answer your questions and assist you. Should you have anything else, let us know. We'll see you soon. Bye, Mackenzie.